number 2 here is reticence. So on the deception deck, I've got all 4 there. Number 2 is reticence. And reticence is basically, if you're listening to someone's story, you ask yourself, are they reluctant to present their evidence? Are they reluctant to talk about the thing that they're there to talk about? And we saw this with Bob Lazar when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast to talk about UFOs. It was like pulling teeth for Joe to get him to actually talk about any UFOs. That's a sign of a hoax, right? If you actually worked with UFOs, I'd expect you to talk about it in great detail right away. And just to bring it to a more obvious, basic example, consider if you saw a really hideous dog, right? Like a dog that was so ugly, its tongue was sticking out, its eyes were bulging while you were walking in the park. When you get home to tell your friends about it, right, or your family about it, would you be reticent? It's like, well, I saw a dog. What did it look like? Well, I can't really describe it. It was just a really weird dog, but I can't go into any detail, right? Would you tease it like that and be reticent? Or would you say, look, I saw this dog, the tongue was hanging out, and a weird snout. It was looking at me, making a really funny growling noise, right? You'd be very detailed and very forward and candid with your info, right? We need multiple signs of deception before we conclude that someone's being deceptive. And even then, my analysis here is just my opinion.
Do you know who Sami rode with? That is
I do.
Big... Okay. Is it a minor?
That drove her home?
Yes.
Yes.
We don't know who took her to the party either because she didn't go with Kiely. She was there when Kiely.
No, I know who took her to the. I know who took her to the party and who picked her up and took her home. And I know the name, and I know who the people are.
Are they minors or
yes.
18? They're minors.
No, they're 18. They're 18.
Oh, so Sami could have told their names then, because I just thought maybe that she wasn't like, because people are.
No,
like,
she could have said their name, but a lot of I think a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the reason why these kids are not named is that just exactly what you said 2 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, is that if you look at these kids, they're going on to college. They're going on to make other things. Hold on. They're going on to do other things, and their families did not want them involved. They didn't want their names out there. And so they chose to keep those names to themselves. Why bring in something else that someone's going to debunk or run all over with?
Who drove Sami home to get her home by 12:30?
Amen.
She asked several times, and I think that's a legitimate question.
It is.
Megs, if you know, chime in.
Oh, bro, Megs would know.
Or Megs, yes.
I've heard home. Oh. Any of them sent at me, so I know it's in the beginning of the
interview. Can you repeat that, because we missed you? Roboted on us for a little bit.
Sorry. Yeah. I knew that at the beginning, and then I had too many names sent out to me, and I can't exactly remember. I know it started with a C, but I want to say Connor, but I can't remember. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to find that. I could obviously ask that again, and I have never asked that since, so I can ask that again.
But I always thought that Megs drove Sam home.
No, Megs did not drive Sam home. She told me, like I said, there's one of the interviews that I did at the very beginning, because someone asked me that, and I had the right name and everything then. But I had, after a couple of months of answering that question, too many names started coming in, and I started getting C's mixed up. So, like C names and all that, I couldn't keep it straight because I'm horrible with the names.
I hear you. I'm pretty bad at them too. I get it. But so, like, Connor drove Sam home then. Connor was sober.
Yes. There were sober people at the party. Yeah. A few of them.
Who's Connor? I'm just curious. I'm out of the loop.
I don't know who Connor is, but I've heard that name. Megs, you know who that is?
Just a high school kid. Like I know a couple of Connors, so I don't know which one he is. That's why there's a couple of Connors and there's a couple Andersons, and so I don't know if it was Anderson or Connor. And because I think because she said, because that's where I got confused. Because I never asked her, and like I said, I can't remember because I heard Connor and then I heard Henderson a lot, so I mixed them up at the beginning. I honestly can't. It was in one of the very beginning interviews that I did. I can't remember now. I'm not even going to try to say that I would remember because I just can't.
Can we get some clarification? Who did she go home with? Who did Sami go home with? Was it Connor?
Miss G would have that answer.
I don't trust anything Misty says. I'm sorry. She pulls shit out of thin air.
Miss G.
Oh, Miss G. Is it Connor?
I want to say Connor, but like I said when I said this, at that point in time, I had so many names. I wish I could just call Sam. I wish I would just call Sam. Oh, I can tell you, it's in my text. It's in the text messages that I sent to you.
No, it's not. I've looked at those text messages and looked at those text messages.
No, I answered it. That's how I.
You've never answered it. I've gone over those text messages. You asked Sami if she came home. What?
On Messenger.
You asked her who she went home with, but she never answered.
No, she answered me. She said
what
she
answer
went
did she
home
give you?
I'm trying to think. Why is his name so hard to remember? Okay.
Can you
Connor?
go through
I swear to God it was Connor. But I don't know if that was the last name or the first name and she told me Connor something and I just can't remember Connor something, but I can't remember. Say the names that you guys think it is, and that you think that she went home. Why does that this is what I keep calling me? Oh God. Sharon, there's a song.
Keep it together, look in the mirror, tell myself you're doing better. Yeah. Ooh, oh, yeah. Oh no, oh. Stars in the sky made me think about you. The love in my eyes, get you tell it's all for you. Loyalty in my blood, I will never fool on you. Put your trust in me, and I'll put my love in you. Okay, baby, it's just us in this world. Nobody can change that. Hey, we gon' fuck up in this world.